Ben, comeback ka na eh.
Pakitas po ng kanang kamay. Do you swear or affirm to the whole truth and nothing but the truth in this proceeding? Kindly nod your head to say yes. Okay. Maraming salamat.
Your Honor, may I be recognized? Your Honor, the whistleblowers or the witnesses are being represented today by their respective counsels. So may I ask that they be required to enter their respective appearance. I'm just here to facilitate their appearance now, and they have their respective counsels to assist them. Thank you.
Yes, but I would like to remind counsel that you were not allowed to speak. But of course, at any time po, pwede kayo magtanong sa inyong abogado. Anytime. Paalam lang kayo, sabihin nyo lang, pwede ba at kausapin ko lang abogado ko, papayagan ko po kayo. Sino po yung mga abogado?
And please enter your appearance na lang po siguro. For their full name,
Good morning, sir, Mr. Chairman. My name is Attorney Lourdes Benipayo. I'm the counsel for Ms. Marina Sula and Arlene Baltasar.
Good morning, Attorney Benipayo.
I'd like to enter my appearance, Your Honor, in the Blue Ribbon.
Okay.
Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. I'm Attorney Levito Baligod, together with Attorney Dexter Calizar and Dom Garen, as counsels for Benhar Lui, Gertrudes Lui, and Merlina Sunyas. Thank you, Your Honor.
Welcome back, Attorney Baligod. Meron pa ba? Lana? Okay, let's proceed. Ang unang magtatanong ay si Senator Bam Aquino. Senator Aquino, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Ito pong mga tanong ko, I will primarily ask Secretary De Lima. No? I think my other colleagues will have a lot of questions regarding yung mga salaysay po ng ating mga witnesses in their affidavits. But yesterday, Secretary, I'm sure you watched the privileged speech of Senator Estrada, where he mentioned that ongoing now is selective justice. So I'd like to hear your comments po on the statement of Senator Estrada, and maybe you can give an update also with regard to the other charges that you will be filing soon.
I respectfully disagree with the contention of the Honorable Senator Estrada that what we have is a selective justice. How can there be selective justice when we are proceeding essentially, basically, fundamentally, and principally on the basis of evidence that we are gathering, and that we have emphasized that what were the cases filed so far is just or are just the first batch of these cases. Investigation and case build-up as we speak are ongoing by the NBI, being undertaken by the NBI, for the succeeding batches, for the second and subsequent batches. Maingat lang po kami. Ang pwede lang ho namin fina-file by batch is kapag sa tingin namin sufficient na ang ebidensya.
On that note, Madam Secretary, would you be able to give us an update regarding when the second batch of cases will be filed?
We were initially targeting, Your Honor, the filing of the second batch of PDAF cases next week. Because this week, supposedly, our target is the filing of the Malampaya scam case or cases. Unfortunately, Your Honors, based on my inquiry from the NBI yesterday, and also Yusek Justiniano is the overall in charge, or the Yusek overall in charge of these investigations, they are unable to meet the target for this week, meaning the Malampaya, because of certain supervening things. We have to attend to these proceedings. We have to attend to tomorrow's bail hearings in the serious illegal detention case. And therefore, hindi po kakayanin dahil na divided na po yung attention or focus namin. So Malampaya will have to be reset, the filing of the Malampaya would be reset next week. And therefore, baka po yung second batch of PDAF cases to the week after next.
So let me clarify, no, Madam Secretary. There will be a set for Malampaya. Actually, iba po yung scam doon because that's forged signatures of mayors, if I'm not mistaken, right?
As Your Honor,
Iba po yun.
although that is also the Lim-Napoles component of the Malampaya Fund, because if we go by the reports coming from COA, is yung ino-audit ngayon po ng COA, and I understand they would be ready to, or they intend to issue or release a report on the Malampaya Fund's irregularities, or special audit on the Malampaya Fund by October, ay mukhang malaki rin po.
So baka mas malaki pa po yung...
Hindi ko po alam kung alin ang mas malaki, kung it's the Malampaya Fund scam or the PDAF.
And malaki meaning the money's involved or the number of persons involved?
Could be
Both.
either or both.
Okay.
Either or both. So ito po, just like itong PDAF scam, ang focus lang po ng NBI investigation is the Napoles component, meaning kung saan may kinalaman yung mga Napoles NGOs.
Okay.
Tsaka whistleblowers.
On that note, Madam Secretary, no, I guess one of the questions yesterday was also, bakit yung Napoles NGOs lang ang naiimbestigahan natin? Since doon naman daw po sa COA report, meron doon mga ibang ghost NGOs na nakalagay. Maybe you could give a comment on that.
Yes, Your Honor. Nung una po, ang focus is just the Napoles component by the NBI and continues to be the focus of the NBI. Pero yung the bigger scope, gawa nga nung linabas na in the meantime, yung COA special report, ay iniimbestigahan na rin po yan nung IAGC. Kaya ho nauna itong Napoles dahil nga ho, pumutok itong kaso na ito. Remember ho na all of this emanated from the serious illegal detention case of Ben Hurloy. Kaya nauna po yung Napoles investigation. Although, sinabi rin ho ni COA Chair Grace Tan na nung pumutok nga po itong Napoles because of the serious illegal detention case, ay patapos na rin yung COA special audit or COA special report on the PDAF, which covered 2007 to 2009, and it's something that was ongoing when Grace Tan took over as the chair.
So just to clarify, Madam, no, ito pong mga kasong na-file natin, pagdating sa Napoles-related NGOs, hindi ho ito yung huli. Meron pa tayong second and probably a third batch of charges to be filed with the Ombudsman. Pangalawa, hindi lang ho yung Napoles yung iniimbestigahan ho natin, other bogus NGOs will also be investigated. No? And
they are being investigated
already
now. Yes, by IAGC, which is an interagency or a composite fact-finding task force under the aegis of IAGC, with the Office of the Ombudsman as the lead agency, Your Honor.
Okay, and a final question. I'm happy that you clarified that, no, Madam Secretary. On a final note, pagdating po sa mga COA reports, no, because this has come to my attention that there are a lot of COA reports which talk about irregularities. Is there, in the process, and I was hoping that, Mr. Chairman, I was hoping that COA would be here. Maybe in the next hearing we can invite them again, no? Pag meron pong irregularity or illegality ang COA report, is that automatically submitted to the DOJ or the NBI for investigation, or they determine whether this needs to be investigated or not?
I'm not sure, Your Honor, if it's a matter of course or it's something that is automatic, that COA is supposed to immediately or automatically refer the matter to DOJ or NBI. What I know is that there are offices to which COA would, as a matter of course, and I think it's mandated by law, if not the Constitution, to submit their reports. I think the Office of the President, the Senate, the House of Representatives, and the Office of the Ombudsman. But I don't think DOJ is part of the enumeration of the offices.
In that case, Madam Secretary, would you advise, as a course of policy in the future, that if there are irregularities seen by COA, that automatically this should be investigated further. Had reports that there have been COA reports in the past years which talk about irregularities but nothing ever happens to them, no? And in this case, it took a special audit to be able to pinpoint all of these irregularities and illegalities, no? So baka po, no, in furtherance of good governance and better policy, maybe this can be a subject of another hearing, no, Mr. Chairman, or another policy discussion, that COA indeed has an automatic function where it should automatically have these irregularities investigated.
I think that is the existing policy already, Your Honor. And my attention has just been called to the fact that there is a tripartite MOA between and among COA, CSC, Civil Service Commission, and the Ombudsman. I think that tackles that. I think there's an existing mechanism by which the COA really refers to the Office of the Ombudsman its findings for appropriate action, and appropriate action would normally commence with the fact-finding investigation.
In that case, Madam, it would be good to revisit this mechanism, and maybe we can ask the other members of the tripartite group in the future, no, to also relate to us why, it needed a special audit report to be able to uncover all of these irregularities. Kasi kaya ho nandyan yung COA para every year, kung meron hong nangyayaring ganyan, dapat alam na natin kaagad to. And maybe instead of 6 billion worth, if in 2007 we had already seen this, baka natigil na po ito ng mas maaga. So this can probably be a subject for another hearing, no, to find out how we can improve the process so that we don't need special audit reports anymore, and we don't have to parang go back 3 or 4 years. Dapat as it is happening, we should be able to know this right away. I hope the DOJ will be willing to help us on that.
Certainly, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Thank you, Senator Bam. At this point, Senator Alan Cayetano is recognized.
Magandang umaga po sa ating po mga witnesses, DOJ Secretary, mga kapwa miyembro ng committee. May proposal lang ako, Mr. Chair. Kasi dito ko, pero napakarami ng affidavit. At ilan lang to, truck ang dinala ng DOJ. Salamat po na sinabit nyo sa amin. Pero para lang po mas malinaw, hindi lang sa amin mga senador, pero pati dun po sa mga nanonood nakikinig sa atin, kung pwede, Mr. Chairman, bigyan natin ng chance yung bawat whistleblower na magbigay muna ng summary ng kanilang nalalaman para pag nagtanong tayo mamaya, at least everyone has an overview. Sir Chair, kung hindi ako nagkakamali sa ating rules, bawal na mag-testify yung abogado sa facts na hindi niya alam o bawal siya mag-argue sa committee na to. Pero hindi po bawal na tayo mag-utos sa kanila na i-present nila yung witness just for the purposes of order. Kasi mahaba tong affidavit. So baka kung papayagan na ng ating chairman at ng ating colleagues at ng DOJ secretary, let's present them in a logical order kung hindi pa tapos si Mr. Luy or kung tapos na siya yung ibang mga witnesses. Pero paki-guide lang sila dun sa kanilang affidavit. We have copies of the affidavit pero yung mga mamamayan na nanonood, wala po silang kopya nito or maaring hindi pa nila nabasa. If this is acceptable to our members, Mr. Chair.
Yes, Senator Cayetano, that is most acceptable. Would you like to... Maybe we could start with Miss Marlena Sunya. Ma'am?
Yes po. Sunyas.
With an S?
Yes po. So there's a typo in the subpoena. It's with an
Okay,
S.
I'm sorry. Sunyas.
Mr. Chair, may I propose that we leave it up to the Secretary? Ang importante